I just saw on Twitter that the Clever Programmer is getting sued. Shout out to Tech Rally for sharing this article. Apparently this lawsuit has to do with the Clever Programmer's online bootcamp that he offers. And it seems like there's quite a few people that are involved in this lawsuit currently. This news article is coming out of Atlanta. It says that a new lawsuit alleges that an online programming bootcamp charges students hefty fees and makes big promises but does not provide the students what they paid for.
Ads claim you can get a job as a computer programmer at companies like Apple and Google with only a few months of training. But now a new lawsuit claims students who signed up paid thousands of dollars for empty promises. Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray talked to a student and an attorney.
The classes cost anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. This new lawsuit alleges that Clever Programmer promises you can get a job at any of the big tech companies here in Midtown. You can see the Google Tower there. But instead, the lawsuit alleges people are ending up with just big debts.
See, that's the big problem with a lot of these boot camps, and now YouTubers are trying to claim the same thing. They try to tell you that you can get these crazy high-paying jobs at some of the biggest companies in the world with just a short amount of time of learning. And the truth is that that's just false. It's extremely hard to get a job at a FAANG company, especially if you've only spent a few months learning how to code. And so many of these boot camps and so many YouTubers now who are creating their own coding boot camps like the Clever Programmer are making these big claims, and it's very predatory because they prey on people who just don't know.
Put together an incredible training for you that'll help you become a six-figure developer.
Just a few months of online training to become a high-paid computer programmer. That's the pitch that Clever Programmer makes, and it's entertaining and eye-catching YouTube videos and social media ads.
How much do you guys think a programmer makes?
$1 million.
I can't even explain how hyped we all were at the beginning. We were so excited.
The sales pitch convinced Adrienne Harris to sign up. She wanted to switch careers, but she now owes Clever Programmer more than $20,000.
It's crazy to me that they're charging this much money for an online boot camp that honestly has no credibility except for some YouTuber who put his name behind it. I'm not the first person that's going to say this, but Clever Programmer already has a bad track record and is known to be one of the sleazier YouTubers out there. A while back, Nick White made a video about him, and he just seems like a slimy individual. I've also heard that he's stolen code from other YouTubers and then used it on his own videos, and he was even called out for it. I'm not going to name the particular YouTuber that it was, but let's just say it's one of the bigger web development YouTube tutorial channels, and I heard this firsthand from him. I'm not surprised. Also, if we're on the topic about stealing code, Real Tough Candy made a video recently that was talking about someone that was fired by Clever Programmer because he was allegedly stealing code but had proof that all the code was written by him.
I got laid off from Clever Programmer in the most unprofessional way, no prior notice, just got kicked out from the GitHub repo. Slack, Vercel, ClickUp, everything. And I was accused of stealing code, which I wrote myself.
It just seems that the Clever Programmer wanted to fire him and didn't really have a good reason, so then he just claimed that he was stealing code. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black as someone who actually stole code from another YouTuber and posted it as his own. Like, this is the kind of dude this guy is. And it's sad because he's just taking advantage of people who are trying to do better with their lives, just like many of these other boot camps. The thing is, at least these other boot camps do offer a solid curriculum. And as we watch this further, you'll see that one of the problems that the students said was that many times people weren't showing up for class, and the teachers that were teaching the class didn't even know what they were teaching.
Because you said you were going to teach us, and you know, we have class and no one's here, or we have class and the guy doesn't know what to teach us.
This new lawsuit filed by more than a dozen Clever Programmer students nationwide claims Clever Programmer does not live up to its big promises. Georgia attorney Cyclone Covey represents the plaintiffs.
To imply that you can learn this stuff in half a year and go out and make that kind of money, frankly, is false. And the problem is, if you're not in the programming space, you don't know any better. You think that this is true.
And that's exactly what I was saying. If you don't know, you just don't know. And boot camps and people who try to target individuals who just don't know any better are just like the sleaziest kind of person. It's like a sleazy car salesman.
The suit alleges that Clever Programmer classes didn't provide the promised training and that staff convinced students to take out loans to pay $10,000 to $15,000 for those courses.
They have a very high pressure sales pitch.
The suit claims that has left former students like Harris with big debts, but without the job skills and job opportunities they thought they were preparing for.
In addition to feeling defeated or discouraged, we were feeling really, really stupid.
I think more people need to know about this stuff. People that are trying to get into programming, people who are trying to learn how to code, people who go to YouTube to get information and get some guidance from YouTubers because they feel that they're genuine and that they're trying to help them, then get swindled and get taken advantage of by some YouTuber who's just trying to make a buck off of his shitty boot camp.
It's like, how did I let myself fall into this? How did I get caught up into this?
I did reach out to the attorney representing Clever Programmer. He told me he has not even seen this lawsuit. It is so new. Now, there are a lot of companies out there with similar classes. The big take home here is that any program offering this kind of training in only a few months, you have to be skeptical about, because these are skills that take years to develop.
That reporter nailed it on the head right there. This isn't something that you learn quickly. This isn't something that you learn easily. Getting into FANG is one of the hardest things to do as a programmer. Even if you graduate with a great GPA and you know all your data structures and algorithms, and let's say you even have experience, it's still super hard to get into one of these big, really high paying tech jobs. Yes, there are other development jobs out there that pay well and they pay six figures. Many of these boot camps try to sell you on that FANG job because everybody wants to work at FANG because they hear that you can make $200,000-$300,000 a year and it's just the dream job. So these predators like Clever Programmer and other boot camps out there that do this kind of thing know that there's people out there who have a desire to improve their lives and make more money, and they take advantage of them. And then they make them sign up and pay a shit ton of money for a course and a program that's not going to do what they were told it was going to do. And I'm very happy to see that they're starting to face consequences like this. Lambda, now known as the Bloom Institute of Technology, also went through a bunch of lawsuits. I had interviews on my channel about them, and I talked about a lot of that stuff. And I felt that I wanted to talk about this stuff because it's something that affects the YouTube community. It's something that affects genuine content creators who are actually providing good quality content. And I just wanted to make this video to just highlight that, because there's been a lot of sleazy programmers in the YouTube space, like the Tech Lead, like the Clever Programmer, and there's a few more out there that I don't really personally trust, and I wouldn't give them any money if it came to learning how to code. But there's also a ton of people out there who provide good quality content, who try to provide people with value and are genuinely interested in helping people succeed. So when these guys out here try to take advantage of people, they need to be called out, they need to be put on the spot, and they need to be held accountable. And I really hope that this goes the distance, and I hope that it totally exposes people who are trying to just make a buck and swindle people who are just trying to get ahead in life. That's pretty much all I had to say. I wanted to make this video quick because I just want to shed some light on this. Again, thank you Tech Rally for sharing this on Twitter. Thank you everyone who's come out and talked about this. And I really hope that the right thing happens and he's held accountable for this. All right, with all that said, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.